Hey everyone, this is Josh from before, and I'm here with McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Collection, Batman Year 2, based on the art of Todd McFarlane. I almost feel a little guilty here having this in hand, knowing that so many people got their pre-orders canceled. I too got mine canceled, and as soon as it happened, I got on with customer service, and they were able to, I don't know, maybe I got lucky, maybe I sweet talked them, I don't know. But they reinstated my pre-order. And it finally arrived, but of course, to rub it in a little bit, the one that shipped first was the signed one. And this being the one that I will not open. It's not for opening, it's not for eBay. This is just for the archives. And I could justify getting a second one because I think I'm not going to end up displaying him with this cape like this. I'll get into that later. For now, let's just start looking at him. Start taking a look around this very large box. Batman Year 2 on the side. Appropriately enough, this is kind of coming in as the capstone of the second year of McFarlane handling the DC Multiverse property. We've got a photo of the figure on the back that looks really good, but I kind of think this deserves to have the original artwork that the figure's based on the back here. It also deserves to have, I think, the names of the sculptors, painters, photographers, designers, everyone that worked on this, because this is really a big, classy piece. And, all the figures from the Multiverse line are great pieces, and they should be showing off how proud they are of the artists that put this stuff together. If you did get your pre-order canceled and you are going to try to hunt this down through other means, maybe that will help you. I do hope everyone that is trying to get one of these is able to get one. And it's really whack that Target would cancel pre-orders just because a figure's being delayed. Like, if the figure's being delayed, it's still going to come out. They still have as many units as before. It still probably has the same SKU. There shouldn't be issues with people having their pre-orders canceled. Man, this looks amazing in here. I think because he's packaged with the cape on and all that, I'll put the base together first with the cape, and I will even clear some space up on that shelf, and we'll see how he fits, like on that IKEA cabinet. Just pulled him loose from there, and he looks amazing, and he smells really good too, actually. Man, just the way these little peaks, the pointy little scallops of the cape there, flapping and pointing in different directions and folding each other with a sense of dimension. They've done this thing where the flat, like top facing, front facing surfaces of the cape are smooth, and then kind of the undersides have this little texture on them. It just gives it an extra sense of dimension, I think. And they've applied this paint shadow here to what are meant to be the undersides, the darkest spots of the cape. But some of them, they're a little sloppy. Like this comes up on top of this front flat one, and that should kind of be the cleanest surface right there. If that's happening on yours, this might work. If you take like a Tide to Go pen and you like just kind of push down until you get the liquid on there. You have to do it kind of slowly and delicately, but I think you might be able to get some of this off there. It's worth a shot, and it might take several passes too. If it really bugs you, it's worth trying, I think. Let's look up inside his cape here. You can see he's kind of tucked up in there. Man, he looks so good. He looks really cool. And then these are kind of sandwiched together, sealed that way, so it doesn't open up like that. It's connected together. And it looks like he's going to have some peg pieces here. Hang on. Okay. So it looks like this is going to go on to there. What's under here? Okay. This has ridges that are you can see them in there in the very back. These little spots, they're gonna line up with that, and this little corner here is gonna peg into this socket. That's what it looks like. So it actually might make more sense to do that first with just this piece. I don't know, it's tough to get that curved piece to really feel like it's lining up with those other pegs. We'll see if that ends up being a factor. We'll just try to muscle our way through here. So that putting that in there though did give it kind of a little bit more of a feels sturdier, and it I think it pushes it out a little bit, makes it look more full. And this is gonna plug in. Let's take a look at this base real quick. So we've got this cemetery base here, these cobblestone path with this rocky, muddy areas that have all these tombstones that are broken, and man, everybody's toast. Barbara, Tim Drake, Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, Jason Todd, Selena Kyle. Dang, homie. Tombstone with the cross there goes on like that. This is a really nice. This has got to be the best looking base they've done so far. Really like it. And the bases are cool and all. And actually, this one's a little bigger. And I don't like how in the 2-packs they kind of try to cram 2 people on a small base. Doesn't always work for me, but this is nice. But I don't know. Ever since they showed us what they could do with something like that, I kind of prefer these more interactive, dimensional sort of props over the base. But this is killer. Let's get him on here. So it's got what I'm assuming obviously is a hole for this peg here, but then his feet pegs seem kind of far back. So let's, I don't know, these feet pegs seem kind of oddly placed for where his feet are supposed to. Oh, I see. Okay, sorry, never mind. There's 2 spots of feet pegs. There's 2 up front there, and there's 2 right back there. Okay, I've been wrestling with this guy for a while. He's really kind of tricky to feel like you got him planted on there firmly. I got 1 foot on a peg here, and the other one is just kind of floating. Fortunately, it's going like covered by that cape there because it's not really flush on the base the way I'd want it to be. Okay, I said all that, and then I spent a little bit more time, and I've got both feet firmly on pegs, which is much more to my liking, and it feels like his head's sitting more in the right spot. And it wants to pop out a little bit and not stay quite snug in that spot. There is a little telltale sign of that peg there, the way that fold it sits like that, and then it kind of is pushing this side of his cowl up. Really trying to get it snug on there and make it right, but it's hard to feel like you got it the way it is meant to be, man. And this peg keeps coming out. This is kind of a pain in the ass. It's not really very enjoyable, but he does look cool once you get him there, and you really got to see him in 3 dimensions to appreciate how rad this cape looks. And how much attitude he's got in this leaning body language. And just from a like compositional standpoint, this cross kind of poking up this tombstone here, gravestone looks nice. Gives it something just a little on this side to complement the movement going that direction. And the cape is the same material as like Kickstarter Spawn, the way they did his cape, which similarly had some texture printed in it and stuff. And this stuff, it works, it's great and all, but when you're used to this multiverse line and you're seeing the stuff they do with this soft rubber material, obviously they couldn't do something this big like that, but man, this stuff just has an amazing tactile feel that this just doesn't, feels a little cheaper. This feels a little maybe higher grade, a little more premium. But this is amazing. I'm going to make some space over here, and let's see how he fits on one of these IKEA cabinets. There he is in the IKEA cabinet. He's actually perfectly sized for that. Compared to, like, say, that bat cycle and this bat cycle, I've never been fully satisfied with how they kind of fit in these cabinets, and then what, like, the amount of space they take up then prevents you from putting other characters in and around them in specific ways. This guy feels kind of just right, I think, takes up the right kind of space in the way you want him to, and then you could put guys in front of or behind, and you could put him up level or there on the base, and looks good. You might notice my shelves are a little bare right now. I'm kind of anticipating making space for some of the new figures, like the 3 Jokers wave and this guy right here. and freshening things up a bit for the new year, but I haven't totally got there yet. So I'll keep you posted when these shelves are looking a little better. Okay, now that we've taken a look at this great looking statue, let's get to the part that I'm very excited about, which is the figure itself. So to get him out of here, I'm going to pop his head off. Oh, maybe not off that far. All right, we're going to pop his arms in here. All right, those went in there pretty good. They feel pretty snug. Maybe a little tight. Oh my God. Oh my fucking God, you piece of shit. Well, after wrestling with this for a while, I can tell you two things. The shoulder balls pegs were pretty stiff, especially on one side more than the other. And the other thing that's happening is this bicep is just completely separating. Needs to be the glue right in there is not strong enough is what's happening, and so it doesn't want to stay up there. So that is one of the worst QC problems I have seen in the Multiverse line so far. That's really bad. Those of you that missed on the pre-orders, maybe you lucked out, because hopefully a second batch of these will fix that. This is terrible, really bad. So now coming down to the elbows, they painted the inside there. That's a nice touch, but they got the wrong color pegs on the elbow there, and that is like the kind of grace note that on a $50 figure you don't want to see it. That's really annoying, but I am confident that with some glue, I think that's going to be completely resolved. Fortunately, not a broken peg. It's not quite that, so while it is an annoyance, it's not going to let it ruin my day. Let's finish putting this thing on. I see there's these two little holes right there. That goes on like so. And pegs down. All right, that went in there pretty easily. Head goes back on here like this. Oh, this guy's really awesome. The bicep thing is annoying me, but whew. All right, so for me, I don't love fabric capes or really even fabric clothes in general, even on, I mean, Hot Toys obviously are pretty amazing, but usually like the size of the threads of the fabric doesn't necessarily match the sculpted detail, and I would rather, kind of like I said before, have a cool sculpt built into the cape that matches the material that the rest of the figure is rendered in. That said, I'm really on board for this. I recently was pretty stoked on this Princess Bride Buttercup, the way they did the fabric material here. I even said I wish they had just made the whole thing fabric. It would have looked better. But it was very fun. And this is the same material. It's got a nice thickness about it. And the thread is very small and delicate, and it doesn't contrast too bad with the sculpt of the figure. And for this blue and gray being, in my eyes, a throwback, it brings to mind the Toy Biz Superpowers era. Like, I know this isn't Superpowers, but this style, this era of toy with the fabric capes. So I'm on board with it here. I don't like the way that it hangs down like that. And I don't love where it meets the plastic here. I think that's the best they could do. It just still feels unsightly to me. So I think this is kind of meant to be pulled back a little bit, draped over kind of, to blend a little better. I think that's meant to be the idea. And then you do that and it folds over this side like this in a pretty cool way that gives it like some real dimension and doesn't feel like chintzy. Man, the look is just killer. For me, what keeps me coming back to the Multiverse line is the figures like this guy that have tons of textures and tons of cool detail and ridiculous embellishment. But man, this is really clean. It's got just enough wrinkles in it to keep him from being just a completely perfectly smooth sort of that style. Man, there are plenty of different versions of Batman that you could put it in front of me and I would be like, yeah, that's my Batman. You know, Michael Keaton, Bruce Tim Sale, you know, all of them. I've seen them all. I've got my ones that are my favorites and the ones that I think of that as my kind of version of Batman. But if I really had to say the definitive, like in my mind's eye, what I think of a Batman, it's this blue and gray, because that's just the first toy. Like when I had that Batcave back there, when I had that as a kid, I had a blue and gray Batman with the yellow emblem on it. This is him, man. This just feels oh, well, that was a really lovely moment ruined by the QC issues, but again, I will make sure that's fixed. Let's see, did they give him crunch? No, still no crunch. But he's got some movement laterally there. He's obviously got rotation, real free and easy rotation there. Ooh. Great forward kick, almost sitting 90 degrees without flaring out to the side of it. You know, that's good stuff. Full Van Damme front. Look how stretchy that is. That's awesome. And this guy's the new go-to Batman spot. Oh, look at the rotation right there from the legs. Oh, you love to see it, guys. You know I love to see it. Pretty well tooled knee, double knee, especially right here with the way this goes up into the muscles of his legs. It feels a little organic. That one's not quite as organic feeling, but they look good. I know I'm not the first one to say it, the flat boots are wrong. They should have the points at the front, but it's not like, when you look at them back here, your eyes aren't drawn to those boots being wrong, but when you do look at them, you're like, ooh, why are they straight line? Ankle, ball joints, they're great. They're fantastic. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. It's exactly what you want. If you've seen a multiverse figure, this guy stands up with the best of them, with the exception of that. And the cape is just fun. It has a heaviness about it that really really works for the thing. It's got some heft in hand, and it just looks heavy on the figure. That's really crucial, especially for somebody that like me that's not always going to be sold on the fabric stuff. I'd like to get him in kind of a, how would he do it? Hang on, I might need to put the other hand on. I was thinking of trying to get him in like a Dracula kind of. Hey, I'll put let me swap the hands on. But before I swap the hands, let me show you this Batarang, which is just very classic throwback retro style Batarang, and fits in this. I'm not sure how he's meant. Oh, God damn it! I'm not sure how he's meant to hold this Batarang. If it's like this, or if it's like that kind of. Either way, it feels like it stretches his fingers a little bit. But I do love these hands, these kind of gestury hands that also work for. So the other hands are a left fist and then a more traditionally sized accessory holding hand. But the pose I was trying to get was like oh my God, bro. Fuck you. I don't know. I was going for kind of like a Dracula thing. I don't know if I got them there. Well, I was kind of trying to go for a Dracula kind of pose. I'll need to work on it, but that was what I was thinking. But don't be afraid to play with him like that. You know, have him holding the cape. You know, there's something cool in there. I got to play with it a little bit, but this cape is really actually fun to play with. I can't deny that. this is going to be it for me. The fabric cape on the base like this. So I am glad that I have that other one in the box with the full sculpted statue cape, because it is really, it's killer. It's badass, but man, this is just too cool. I don't want to hide this beautiful looking figure. So for me, this figure is going to have kind of his own special spot carved out. But if you were interested in trying to see how he would like stack up next to some other characters, these all look great together in my opinion. I really like the way they did this flashpoint, where it's got some suggestion of armor pieces and stuff, but it's also the fabric, kind of classic Batman fabric costume too. And obviously the simplified retro-esque Batgirl works perfectly. I think he works really well with that Superman as well. This maybe that starts to get a little questionable. That Nightwing might feel a little too modern. You know, ditto for that Robin. The colors kind of feel right, but his design is maybe a little on the modern side. I think for me, the upcoming 3 Jokers Batman is going to be the one that's hanging out with like my Bat family, and this guy will be kind of in his own space. But and let's take a look at him with the other classic blue and gray McFarlane figures. Guys, this is awesome. This is a must-have. I really hope if you got screwed over by Target that you're able to cop one of these, and hopefully it won't have this bicep problem. Fortunately, that seems like an easy fix, because I want to be pretty pissed off about it, and I am, but I do think they need to be hitting the grace notes like that. They can't give us a $50 figure with a peg match like that. But the value on this is out of sight. I mean, I don't like it's hard to commit to one way of displaying it. Like, this statue cape is incredible and would be a standout, unique shelf candy. But man, the fun factor of this cape version and being able to get the full view of the classic blue undies, blue and gray, that it's my Batman, guys. I don't know what else I can tell you. Highly recommend. Let me know if you're able to pick this guy up, or if you got screwed over by Target, or if you're still on the hunt. Let's take it to the comments, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.